Hey everybody, I'm Stasia, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 weight loss tips that helped me personally get back on track and lose 20 pounds in 2 months. Now, I recently just put out this video here explaining exactly what I did to lose that 20 pounds. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, I will link that in my description box below. So be sure to check that one out. And I know you guys are super excited to see exactly what I'm eating, and I'm just as excited to share it with you. So I just wanted to throw it out there that I recently just moved across country again. So we're just trying to get reestablished and get my place in order. So the videos will definitely be coming. I'm so excited to film what I'm eating in a day for you. So just hang tight. Those videos will be coming, I promise. Okay, so if you find today's video helpful, please give it a thumbs up for me and consider subscribing to my channel if you are also on a health or weight loss journey following a plant-based diet. I would love to have you stick around so I can show you exactly what I'm doing step by step so I can also help you with yours. Okay, one last thing, especially if you haven't seen my last video, all of my weight loss recipe ebooks are on sale for $5 right now, all of them. $5. This is the perfect opportunity if you are, kind of bored with what you're eating, you don't know what to eat. Grab one of these books. I have over 50 weight loss recipes that are oil-free, whole food, plant-based in the one book. I have over 30 sauces and dressings that are also oil-free in the other book. And I also have a combo pack where you can buy them both. And even that one is on for $5. And just so you know, following some of those exact recipes that you'll find in those books is what helped me to lose the 20 pounds in 2 months. So I am quite literally proof that it works. At any rate, if you're interested in checking them out, those books will also be posted in my description box below. Okay, so my first tip is the easiest one, and that is simply just to keep it simple. I cannot stress this one enough. Sometimes we can get in over our head with, something's got to be a particular way or a certain complicated recipe or a certain meal plan to follow to the T. It really doesn't have to be that complicated. Now, for me, when I say simple, I mean I've been keeping it like uber simple, to the point that even filming my what I eat in a day videos, I'm kind of laughing already in my head because I'm like, yeah, some of these meals are like really basic. So I'm gonna show you guys anyways because I want you to see how uncomplicated it really has to be, if that makes sense. So I'm still gonna show you exactly how I'm doing it, but I just want you to know that it doesn't have to be something overly complicated. And for those of you who already have copies of my ebooks, then you already know that generally speaking, even writing an ebook and sharing these recipes, they're not complicated. Most of my recipes only have a handful of ingredients that I typically already have in my kitchen already. Nothing too crazy, nothing fancy. And that's the way it should be when you're focused on your health or focused on losing weight. You just want to eliminate anything that feels too overwhelming or too big of a task to do. I usually always have rice and potatoes already made in advance that are just ready to go in my fridge because then I can just build upon that. So, throwing together some type of balance bowl or rice bowl or whatever you want to call it, takes all of 2 or 3 minutes if that rice is already made, and then just throw in whatever other ingredients and boom, there's a meal in under 5 minutes, seriously. Or the same could be said about the potatoes. Also, another thing that I was eating a lot of is smoothies, whether they were a green smoothie or a bean smoothie. And I did mention this in my last video, but don't knock it till you try it when it comes to the bean smoothies. They are fantastic. And I actually kind of like to think of the bean smoothies as like a protein shake or a fiber protein shake, the vegan way, just because beans are so packed with vegan protein and vegan fiber. And when you put them in a smoothie, that smoothie might be a little bit more dense than what we're used to when we think of a smoothie. But let me tell you, when that sucker keeps you full for hours, it keeps me full for hours. So here's the thing is that smoothie, if my beans are already made in the fridge or the freezer, it takes me 2 minutes, like literally 2 minutes, not even an exaggeration, to blend it up. And that's like a meal on the go, meal in a cup, no thinking required, no cooking even required. And so it's just really great if you're busy, on the go, don't feel like cooking, any of the above. The bean smoothies have been incredible. I make them for my kids too. They love them. So they are something that was a huge part of my 20-pound weight loss. I can really say the same for soups as well. A lot of you know that I really do enjoy soups. I mean, the weather is quite warm now, so soup isn't typically the first thing on my mind. So I feel like I've been having more smoothies instead of soup. But soup is also something that I was eating during my weight loss. Soups are just easy because they can be made in advance in a big batch. It can be frozen quite easily. And, I just find that when you have a handful of things, simple things, just kind of ready to go, then the rest can just be figured out from there. So not complicating it and just really keeping a few things ready on hand is the way that I did it to help myself get back on track. Okay, so the next tip I want to talk about is to try new recipes. Now, I know you might be saying, like, Stasia, you just said keep it simple and, but still, I didn't say keep it boring or bland. You definitely have to enjoy your food. So don't be afraid to try new recipes. Just make sure that they're simple ones and ones that you actually like. Maybe you've already been at this way of eating for quite some time and, the weight loss is just not budging for you, and maybe you're bored, or maybe you think this lifestyle might not be for you. But that may not be the case. Maybe all it takes is just a little bit of tweaking with your current menu and, you're going to feel revitalized in this way of eating and feel excited. I've always said that on my channel. I feel like we should enjoy our food, and I wholeheartedly believe that in this lifestyle, it is very possible to do that. The other day, my mom and I were talking, and I was explaining to her how these past 2 months, how it really hasn't been that hard for me to stick to this clean way of eating, because keep in mind, I do have other family members and friends and everything that do not eat the same way that I do. So I am constantly surrounded by junk food, by non-vegan food, treats on treats. It's all around me. I mean, even if you don't have family members or friends around you, just step outside and go down the street a little bit. You're going to see fast food stores, or, the temptation is always going to be around us. But I do find it interesting that I've been perfectly okay with that. And I think the reason for that is because I have recently tried a few new recipes that I've added into my, my regular ones. Will always say my regular ones, but I have experimented with a little bit more spices and different sauces and just a few different things in general that I'm going to be showing you guys. And it has made all the difference for me. So when I'm out and other people are eating things around me and stuff, I have it kind of in my head already that, oh, that's okay. When I get home, I'm going to have this to eat that, is exciting for me. And that's good enough for me that I'm like, okay, then I have a new focus that I'm excited to eat that as soon as I get home, So that's why I always stress that it is super important to really enjoy what you're actually eating instead of just choking down this food just because. Listen, I am a foodie and I always have been. And personally, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think we were meant to enjoy our food. And I just don't like this idea that, to be eating healthy or eating plant-based or even whole food plant-based, that correlates with, it being boring or bland or just not enjoying our food. I think it's completely possible to enjoy your food. Always keep your food exciting. If you're starting to get bored of your food or sick of eating the same thing, definitely go out there and try something new and bring some new foods and excitement onto your plate. Oh, and here's a little bonus tip as I'm thinking of it. Try switching up your grocery stores. So this one is interesting and incredible how helpful this can be. So a lot of times we all just shop, where we shop. We have our places that we frequent, and that's kind of that. Try switching it up because different grocery stores offer different things. Try going into maybe some ethnic grocery stores. You'd be surprised at how many different varieties of produce, like potatoes, for example, that there are, or different spices that you've never seen in your regular grocery store. This is an excellent way in trying to add new foods into your diet. For example, I just went to a Polish store. I'm half Polish, by the way, but I just went into a Polish market with my mom the other day, and they had the fermented cabbage that the Amish people make, and this cabbage is incredible. I cannot even stress it. Excellent for digestive health as well. But man, it's so tasty. And the other day, my mom and I were sitting there and we rolled up some cabbage rolls with some rice that was already cooked. I pulled out of my fridge, put a little hot sauce in it, rolled it up in some fermented cabbage and sat there, and my daughter came and joined us. She had some too, and it was incredible, and that is something that I can't pick up from my regular grocery store and I would have never had unless we had went to this, specialty grocery store. So that's just an idea too, to try to bring some new flavors and new finds into your diet. Okay, so my third tip, and I need you to listen carefully to this one. Stop starting on Monday. How many Mondays have come and gone on our weight loss journeys? Like, let's be honest about that. Instead, just do it now. Do it at your very next meal. We need to stop waiting for Mondays. It's a completely vicious cycle waiting for these Mondays. I remember so many times in my life, about midweek or so, I would be feeling really motivated, really pumped to get back on track, watching a video similar to this, let's say, and then I would have it in my mind that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start on Monday. And the rest of the week, I would give myself some sort of mental pass to eat whatever I want and ate completely out of control, waiting for that Monday to come. It's just such a vicious, brutal cycle. Let me know in the comments if you are also addicted to weight loss Mondays like I have been. And please, if so, just try to start now. The reality is that eventually Mondays will feel like every other day of the week once this just becomes part of your lifestyle. Okay, so the fourth thing I want to suggest is to set some new goals. So this is something that I did, and believe me, it makes all the difference. So for me, if you guys watched that first video, I go really into depth with kind of how I came about this 20 pounds in 2 months weight loss. But in a snapshot here, some of that had to do with some gallbladder issues I was having. So my goal then became to A, feel better and manage my symptoms, and B, also get this weight down because, I would like to lose weight in general, and also weight loss, getting down to an ideal weight is also going to be beneficial for any health problem that you're having. So this now became my focus and my goal. So I'll tell you what, when you have a clear vision of what you really, really want, when you find yourself in certain situations, like on a Friday or a Saturday, after you've worked hard all week long eating really clean, and then now it's the weekend and you're around other people, you're socializing, certain foods are in front of you that are tempting, those types of scenarios, what happens is when you have a clear-cut goal in your mind, you can default to that goal, and that will help you to get through those moments. And that is literally what I did. So many times, like I mentioned earlier in this video, there's lots of junk food around me. And often my family would be like, oh, like, sorry, or, apologizing, or even my husband or something like that. I'm like, really, it's okay. And the reason why it was okay is because in my mind, I went to some other place, that I would just kind of like think about why I don't want to eat that food, why it means nothing to me, because my overall goal was so much bigger than whatever food was sitting in front of me. And that is the honest to God truth. That is such a mental hack for me when I find myself in those types of situations. It's almost like this little secret excitement that I have that I'm like, I see the vision of where I'm going, what I want my body to look like, what I want my health to feel like. And it's just so much bigger than whatever food is around me. You have to find something that gets you excited about taking care of yourself and your body. Okay, so my last tip to wrap this all up is get rid of the all or nothing mentality. I suffered with this one for years. I feel like you can be all in 100% and then you can have one meal that was overindulgent or off plan and you're just ready to throw the towel in on everything. And we all know that hole can just get deeper and deeper as you spiral out of control into some free food frenzy that, can last for days or sometimes even weeks. I used to get so upset with myself thinking that, one bad meal or one junk food, ruined all of my hard work and my efforts, which is just simply not true. This is a lifestyle. This is not a crash diet. This is our life. We are living everyday life. So like every other aspect of our life, this is no exception. There are going to be times that it is not quote unquote perfect, and that's okay. It's the things that we do most days that make the difference. It's the consistency of repeating those same good, healthy habits every day or as often as you can that are gonna produce the long-term results. Losing 20 pounds in 2 months was like a bunch of baby steps of consistency that ended up producing a really big result. So try not to be too hard on yourself and have some forgiveness if you do mess up and just keep going. Try hard to not let that spiral happen and deter you too much from your goals. Remember, you can always turn things around by your very next meal. Okay, so those are my tips for getting back on track with your weight loss or maintenance goals. These are the very things that I have personally done to recommit myself to this lifestyle, recommit myself to my own personal health goals, and as a result, both my health and my weight loss is improving. I am super stoked that I've lost 20 pounds in 2 months, but that is only the beginning. I still have some more weight loss to do. I still have more healing to do. So if you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stick around so that you can see exactly what I'm doing and follow along my weight loss journey. Oh yeah, and don't forget to check out that awesome book sale. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We will see you guys in the next one.